Have you considered including security tests in the CD pipeline? If already included, did you have any problem including them?
Yeah, so security tests, you're talking more about, yeah, so security tests will be part of your pipelines, regardless of the project that you're working on. For hardware, there are obviously certain criteria or certain things that might be different from, or extra things that you need to check. Like, for example, you need to do hardening on the boards and stuff like that, and you need to understand if someone can hack into those boards. So there are things that you can do that might simulate those type of attacks. It doesn't need to be super fancy, but it's some things that you can add. So what happens if you are, let's say, building a device or that will allow you to, actually, like, you know, in the new Macs, there is a scan where you can scan your fingertip, right? And that can open or allow you to open or unlock your laptop. So if you are using that thing, if you are building something like that, what are the chances of, like, is that a half fingertip also valid? And then is my half fingertip the same as your half fingertip? So there are specific things that you will need to consider, and you need to find ways to do them. So in this particular case, we ended up changing one of the protocols that we were using to communicate because it wasn't secure enough after some tests that were done. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And what's your thought about heterogeneity of open systems? Do you think it's an advantage, it's a drawback for a CD approach? Do you have any opinion on that?
No, I don't have any opinion on that, actually, because I'm not really sure. As I said at the beginning, I'm not a hardware engineer, so I don't really sure what that means. But if the person who made that question or anyone in the audience wants to take that one, I'll be...
What's your thought? Anyone have an opinion about heterogeneity on
embedded systems?
Embedded systems, sorry. Do you think? What do you think? Do you think it's an advantage, is a drawback, is something to consider or not? No? Okay, well, have another question here. Don't know if you have any example of continuous delivery, including hardware with continuous integration. What happens if, for instance, you get an error testing your code integrated with new hardware? Do you have any tool to do a report or?
So we were using very standard stuff. So because we were running, like, most of the automated tests were running through either G-test or something like that, then we were just getting all the reports mainly for free. There was getting some of this stuff to be compatible with tools like Cobertura or some more standard tool that Jenkins or that allow you to have all of these nice reports might require some work from your side, but it's very minimal. There are already people online, so there are already people out there that have done that work for you. So it's just a bit of a digging on how you can adapt those scripts or those transformations into your pipeline. There's a tool called JCurve-R that actually is able to read the results of G-test and transform them into something nicer that then can be exported into either HTML or even PDF, I think. And Jenkins or any other continuous integration tool that you're using will allow you to read whatever exit code you are sending from that script that is running it, and it will fail if you get a -1, for example. So those are the type of things that you do. When we were running more of like end-to-end tests or functional tests, that those were more custom or homemade. In this way, we just needed to make sure that, you know, we were doing kind of the assertions by ourselves. So we were saying, hey, is this sound, the frequency of this, is this within this limit? And if it is, return 0, and if it's not, return -1, or something like that. So we had to like do it ourselves. But it's definitely not difficult, and it is really standard. Yeah.
Okay. One last question. You mentioned that at some point you have to release this to a customer.
Yeah.
So how do you manage this customer feedback or the end user feedback when delivering hardware products? How does it work?
So I guess the things that you can start doing is more of like kind of friends and family, or kind of the canary release approach. So you might deploy or release it to a handful of your customers and get those feedback from them, and then work on the feedback. Or if you want to release it to more customers, do it that way. That's the way that I see it working.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Maria.
Cool.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.